Welcome to 21 Chambers. Let's start digging. Congress, they just took the internet all around. Names, documents, Epstein, Nixon files, everything's in the spotlight now. Now people asking, who knew? Who stayed quiet? What's still buried in the paperwork? And finally, some sort of accountability. With that being said, let's just dig in.
Let's stop pretending people aren't seeing this. Once the Epstein documents started dropping, and instead of answers, more questions. People asking how a man under federal watch dies before trial.
That night shows a glimpse of what may be a person in orange near Epstein's cell. FBI and Justice Department logs refer to it, but
I'm gonna stop right there. I always thought it was somebody that was in that little shadows of Epstein's demise. You know, they covered that up so tight. I mean, they ain't even when they covered it up, they ain't even talk about that the man was just saying somebody was trying to choke him out, and then he changed his statement. You know, and then a couple days later, boom. You know, moving on.
authorities have insisted no one entered Epstein's cell or his cell tier at night before he died. A technical failure that left only one working camera near that cell that night has created conspiracy theories about what happened.
See, that wasn't just no clothing, unless somebody was behind the scene. Because a lot of times the conspiracy do it does run deep. I ain't gonna, but seriously though, and then I also heard some other stuff too. The things that I've heard was the lady that was guarding that man that night had did the count. And the count she came up with was 47 plus one. Then I hear the lady was asleep. Then I hear other things. You've heard other things. I mean, it's all around, but whatever. Moving on.
Leading up to it.
Why powerful names appear across records and contacts.
Let me stop. This guy right here. Jeez. Man, this guy is a plunger. Okay, man, he done said some, I mean, he done came up with so many different lies and cover up and trying to make things look like you ain't see this, you ain't hear this, trying to act like that the tariffs is a good thing. He know better than that. But anyways, he did anything he could to stay in power, including lie. Okay, that was one of the biggest things they got him on. That's why he down there now, trying to act like he only met Epstein one time. He was disgusting, and so engulfed in power that he totally forgot that he done ran up on this dude 3 or 4 times. Then went down to the island with the whole family. All kinds of stuff like that. It's all in the files. It's all in the media. Y'all heard it. I mean, moving on. This guy's a bum.
Who knew? And who stayed quiet? Now the internet is digging. Millions of pages, court docs, flight logs, depositions, facts mixed with rumors, and
See, stop. Facts mixed with rumors because there is so many rumors out here. I mean, and they starting to cross through the facts and making people believe the rumors. The rumors of the trap doors, the cannibalism, you know what I mean? They eating babies. I done heard all kinds of stuff. This past Super Bowl, the halftime, oh man, they was running things down like, man, I didn't even know. Like, I'm trying to pay attention to the performance, man. Yeah, I was more interested in what these people were saying. Moving on.
the public, they don't want statements anymore. They want receipts. If millions
Damn
of
right
files
we do.
exist, who's reading them? But if you want to truly know, start with the DOJ Epstein document library. Then decide for yourself.
I'm gonna stop right there because see, going into that DOJ library through the internet, it's open for any of us to go into. It's kind of tedious on how to get into and start pulling the information out. I'm gonna do a video on that because I'm gonna actually go into it and try to pull the information out that we need, and we'll see how that runs. I'm gonna try it on my phone. That way I can screen record it better. Uh, but yeah, we definitely need to try to get the information before starting putting a lot of things out here. You know what I mean? So it's all good though. I mean, everybody else is pulling it out. They know better than to put some stuff on here. They, get banned. Moving on.
Yesterday, Congressman Massey and I went to the Department of Justice to read the unredacted Epstein files. And now they have revealed the identity of these six powerful men. These men are Salvatore Navora, Zorab Mikaladze, Leopig Leonor, Nicola Caputa, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, CEO of Dubai Ports World, and billionaire businessman Leslie Wexner, who was labeled as a co-conspirator by the
Stop right there. Let's move back and put that man's picture up because this guy right here, I used to work for that company. That's crazy. I heard different strange shit about the dude, but it's all rumors. Now talk about his he never parked his vehicles, whether he had somebody driving them or he was driving them, but more than likely he had somebody else driving. But he would never park his vehicles in a situation where he had to back up. Always moved forward. Always moved forward. Had his garage built where when he pulled that vehicle in the garage, it'd turn it around. So he didn't even back up to go into the garage. He made sure them vehicles got in them and it turned them around. And he had like a 7, 8 car garage, so man, that's 7 different stages for the vehicles. I bet you that cost some money. But the thing is, they made him a conspiracy, a conspirator. Now, you got to ask yourself, if they put him on at the end of that file, and then they covered it up all this time, who else is in there? And another thing you got to ask is, well, they ain't got no politicians in there? I'm quite sure they do. But they are probably redacted still. Because the congressman here was speaking about he had to go in there and tell them they had to unredact a few things, and they did it. But what they didn't do, we don't know yet. That's why it's very important to go into these files so you can see for yourself or show other people. You know what I mean? With that being said, my name is Dwayne Anthony. This is 21 Chambers.